Yo, what is good, fellas? Hope you boys are all having a fantastic day. Today we're talking all about the most feared factions. If you don't know what a most feared faction is, most feared factions are each specific most feared champion's specific team chem. Each most feared faction has their own specific boost. Today we're going to rank all 9 of them. I will say a lot of the cards do get all 9 factions, such as all of the limited times, as well as all of the free cards you guys can earn through various different methods. We've talked about all of the free cards yesterday or on Friday, depending on when you guys are seeing this video, but just know some of these cards do get all the factions. Let's hop right into it. When it came to actually deciding which faction was going where, there were a few different ways I actually ranked them. First, what boost they're actually giving your faction players. That really is the #1 priority, but also what champion and hero players fall under that specific faction. Let's slide over to Mut.gg so we can talk about the 9th worst faction in Madden 25 most feared. Over on Mut.gg, they have everything broken down for us. You guys can see on the left, we got the tiers and what boost you get per tiers. We see the tier 9 out of 9 total boost, as well as every single player that gets this specific faction chem. At number 9, though, I got Max Crosby's faction, the Ghost Chemistry. The specific boost the Ghost Chemistry give is +1 awareness, +1 block shed, +1 BSK, +1 catch in traffic, +1 interior blocking, +1 juke move, +1 pass blocking, wow, it's English, +1 pursuit, +1 run blocking finesse, +1 run blocking, and +1 short route running. Honestly, just a bunch of nothings there. It's a really interesting boost that they're just throwing on for a left end. I don't understand why Max Crosby needs +1 short route running. Now, you guys can see down here, the 87 overall that is attached to Max Crosby is Rob Havenstein. Why does Rob Havenstein have receiving boost on him? Now, I get it. There are some run-in pass blocking boost on there, and that's cool, but there's really not much for Max Crosby on there. Yeah, there's +1 block shed. Okay, that's basically it. Now, Max Crosby is one of the better champions, so it is a little bit of a debate here is, should Max Crosby's faction be the worst? I'm having them come in dead last because his specific boost just don't really do much for Max Crosby, and honestly, the other cards in the faction, they just don't. It's a weird ghost chemistry. I would personally stay away from it. So coming in at number 8, we got the Vampire Chemistry, or Tom Brady specific faction. His total 9 out of 9 boosts are +1 agility, +1 awareness, +1 change of direction, +1 catch, +1 deep accuracy, +1 medium accuracy, +1 pass block finesse, +1 press, +1 run block finesse, +1 run block, +1 stiff arm, +1 tackle, and +1 throw power. So a decent stack of boosts there. But then again, Tom Brady is one of the worst champions we got. His 87 overall is also Logan Wilson, who's a slow outside linebacking, pass coverage linebacker. So his 87 overall hero, honestly not that special, and like Jawan Taylor is his 82. This faction's just got a lot of mid cards, and honestly, I don't think the boosts are that crazy. Now, if you want to use Tom Brady, go for it. Card is decent, but I don't think his boosts are too special. Now, he does have boosts that actually boost up Tom Brady, which is not something you can say about Max Crosby, and that's the reason why this faction is coming in at number 8, but still, I don't really like it. Like, +1 tackle, okay. I like +1 throw power, +1 to all his accuracies is great, but Tom Brady, super slow. Really, you need fast quarterbacks in this game, and while you can't say that is what Tom Brady does for you, so the Vampire faction coming in at number 8. Also, the fact that I'm talking about factions today, just wow. I did not think that's what we were going to be doing today, but here we are. So next up at number 7, we got the Will Shields faction, or the Giants faction. His specific total 9 out of 9 boost are +1 catch in traffic, +1 HT, so +1 height, I believe, +1 interior blocking, +1 pass blocking, a bunch of pass blocking stats, +2 hit power, +1 press, +1 run blocking, +2 short route running, and +1 strength. So a very interesting one. His hero 87 overall is Devon Hamilton. So not a flashy 87 whatsoever. And I will say, if you guys are picking up a lot of these limited times, or maybe like a Brock Purdy, a Jordan Power, or any of these other players that get all 9 factions, this isn't a terrible one to build, but it's Will Shields. It's a right guard. Why are we giving him +2 hit power? If you take this for what it is and you don't include the players that aren't specifically made for the faction, Why do they have press coverage? Why do they have hit power? Why do they have short route running? Why do they have catch in traffic? I don't understand it. You should have made this a specific offensive line straight faction. And you know what? I would have gotten behind that. But they really tried to do something too special here at that tier 9 out of 9 chem. And like, if you're picking up Will Shields, you really only need to get 6 out of 9 because like, that is really where his actual boost really stopped. The 9 out of 9 boost, +1 height, +1 hit power, +1 press, and +1 short route running does not affect Will Shields whatsoever, doesn't affect Devon Hamilton whatsoever. It's an interesting faction. It's why it's coming in at number 7. I also will say, if there's one of these specific factions, also, how many times am I saying factions in this video? It's literally what they're called. I think it's weird. But if there's one you want to use, go for it. Don't listen to me. I'm just a guy with the camera talking about virtual trading cards. It's supposed to be fun. If there is a specific faction, yeah, you want to use, go for it, but also watch all the way through this video because we know ball. Genuinely feel like I'm talking about Dungeons and Dragons, but next up we got the Reaper faction, Antoine Winfield. Antoine Winfield might be the worst champion we got, but his boosts are actually really, really nice. +1 excel, +1 awareness, +1 block shed, +1 break tackle, +1 deep, +1 man, +1 pass blocking, +1 pass blocking power, +1 hit power, +1 PRC, +1 pursuit, and +1 zone coverage. So he boosts both coverages, which I think is essential in having a good boost to begin with. Winfield, though, as a card, I just can't get behind a 5'11 safety, 5'10 safety on my field in a high ball meta. His boosts, though, are really good. I like deep route running, I like man, I like zone, I like the pursuit. His 87 overall hero, Luke Musgrave, does benefit off some of the boost he get. Also, Marquise Brown is a part of this faction. So a decent faction, some really good boost, but the champion, it's just not there for me. Now, this is also updated for just part 1. So when part 2 drops, we have a bunch of new champions. We can update this video, and we probably will because there's going to be need to be some updates. If the Antoine Winfield faction gets a really good lockdown DB, that one could easily rise into the top 3, but Antoine Winfield as a champion alone, he just can't hang. So cracking the top half of today's video, the super faction or Patrick Ricard specific faction, his total 9 out of 9 boost are actually really, really good. +1 excel, +1 awareness, +1 block shed, +1 kick power, +1 pass block power, +1 power move, +1 hit power, +1 PRC, +1 pursuit, +1 run blocking power, +1 strength, and +1 zone coverage. His 87 overall specific is Emmanuel Forbes, in my opinion, one of, if not the best 87 overall heroes we have in general. Ricard is a fullback, I get it. You need a good fullback on your team, and his specific total 9 out of 9 boosts are some of, if not the best. You guys can see +1 zone coverage, +1 kick power, low-key sneaky, +1 hit power if you guys are using any of these LTDs. I don't hate coming in here and building the super chem. You get Ricard, he gives you ×2. The champ, he's a fullback. You don't even have to use him. He's the cheapest champion in the game. And then you can get like +1 man and +1 zone on Jordan Poyer. You can get +1 hit power on Micah Parsons. A lot of really good ways to build this super chem faction team out. And you know what? It's a fullback. Gotta show him some love every now and then. Super faction coming in at number 5. So sliding in next up, we got the Champ Bailey Warlock faction. Yeah, what am I talking about right now? Really good faction. Champ Bailey is pretty good. I was really high on Champ Bailey when this promo dropped. I still am really high on Champ Bailey. He's been playing good on my team, but I've seen a lot of you guys not rock with Champ, so I didn't want to put him back, top 3. I think top 4 is fitting. His total 9 out of 9 boost for his specific Warlock chemistry faction, +1 awareness, +1 BSK, +2 change of direction. Change of direction being a very important stat in this year's Madden. +1 juke, +1 pass accuracy, +1 pass blocking, +2 PRC, +1 run. Jeez, fellas, it's a long one. +1 spec catch, +1 spin move, and +1 tackling. All of these +1s are throwing me off, but the Warlock chem, honestly decent. You got 2 +2s there, which are things you love to see. His 87 overall, though, is Jared Goff, so that is another reason why this, faction is not top 3. His 87 overall is only usable on, like, a Lions theme team. His 82s are nothing too special, but the boosts are honestly some of, if not the best we've seen so far. I do think there are still better, more well-rounded options out there, but for what you're getting, the Warlock faction, I'm here for it. Coming next up at number 3, we got Demario Davis's faction, the Gargoyle faction. +1 awareness, +1 carry, +1 catch, +1 jump, +1 kick power, +1 hit power, +1 PRC, +1 pursuit, +1 stiff arm, +1 spec, +1 short route running, and +1 strength. You could say I am a little bit overhyping this faction. I really like Demario Davis as well. This is just a bunch of really usable things that affect Demario Davis as well as Curtis Samuel the 87 overall in this faction. Also, you can't complain about +1 jump on a middle linebacker, +1 hit power on an already really good middle linebacker. I mean, fellas, it does not get much better than that. Curtis Samuel, a slot wide receiver, giving him short route running. This looks like the first faction they actually built to fit the specific players in that specific section. And you know what? I'm here for EA doing things that make sense. The Gargoyle chemistry, the Gargoyle faction, coming in number 3. And there were 2. Next up, we got the Werewolf faction. Yeah, Werewolf faction. You guys can see +2 excel. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what you need to see. +1 agility, though, +1 awareness, +1 block shed, +1 finesse move, +2 pursuit. So, you know, 2 really good +2 team chemistry boost, +1 run blocking, +1 return, +1 run, +1 short accuracy, and +1 throw under pressure. I don't know why they got throw under pressure on this one. Yeah. If you guys are using Brock Purdy, I guess that's a good one to use, as well as Taysom Hill's quarterback. But besides that, doesn't really make sense. All in all, though, +2 excel, +2 pursuit. Antonio Gates is a solid card. I'm not going to say he's the best champion. I think he's middle of the pack, but +2 excel, +2 pursuit. Does not get much better than that. Jamar Chase is the best current champion we have, and his faction is also pretty solid. Now, he doesn't have the craziest boost like we've talked about with Antonio Gates, but Jamar Chase is the best champion, and his boosts are still really respectable. +1 excel, +1 block shed, +1 catch, +1 finesse move, +1 interior blocking, +1 man, +1 medium route running, so that directly affects Jamar Chase. Let's freaking go. +1 PRC, +2 press coverage, +1 tackle, and +1 zone coverage. If this was the faction they gave to Champ Bailey, that would almost make too much sense. Also, PJ Locke, a very serviceable strong safety. I was going to say good. He's serviceable. But with these boosts, makes the card even better. The Ghouls chemistry, or the Ghouls faction, coming in today at number 1. Like I said, this is just for drop 1 of Most Feared. So when we get drop 2, more than likely next Saturday or Sunday, we'll update this video. Like I said, though, if there is a specific faction or a specific player you guys want to use, go out there and use it. I think the faction, or, you know, let's call it a Most Feared theme team boost in general, are a cool concept. The fact that you have specific players that fit under specific boost. I'm here for actually thinking about how you build your team. I'm excited to see how EA expands on this for part 2 and part 3. If you guys did enjoy this video, go down there and drop a like. Not sure when you guys are seeing this, whether it be Saturday night during the Tennessee-Alabama game or Sunday morning right after the Tennessee-Alabama game, but regardless, I appreciate you guys for checking out this video. And until the next time, have a great rest of your day or night or whatever time you guys see this. Peace, gents. I'll catch you, fellas.